Hi Leo, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. So for today's meditative session, I saw this ram, which is in the desire card. Could be that some of you have Capricorn in your chart, or maybe the Capricorn reading will resonate with you. But what I'm getting just like from this card, desire, obviously like, I think like you've been stripped down, right? Like you see how this person's sitting here kind of like they're naked. And it's like you've been stripped down to, maybe it's like you're, like when I say stripped down, I mean like, it's not that you're it's not that you're naked, it's like you're stripped down of your, maybe you've gone through a lot of loss in this time and you've been like stripped of everything, or maybe it's, you've been stripped down meaning like, how do I explain this? Stripped of, I don't want to say it's like the, like maybe it's the ego, like stripped of the 3D BS, right? Like stripped of all that doesn't really serve you, or the mentality of the things that don't serve you. And you're like sitting there, like I don't know how to explain it. It's like you're sitting there with your hand out, like I'm ready to receive what it is that it's like truly for me, right? Like it's like stripped down of, how do I explain it when I say stripped down? Like, I feel like you guys get what I'm saying, but I want to articulate it and I can't. It's like stripped down to the bare bones, right? And then from there, like building yourself back up, right? So it's like starting from zero and going back to like starting fresh, starting from zero so that you can have the right things that you desire, right? Because sometimes, yeah, it's like you've come to know yourself better, and you come to know like, you're coming to know like what it is that you actually desire, right? And maybe it's like coming into balance with your chakras, because I'm seeing all these colors as like a rainbow too. It's like, it's something about being stripped down to the bare bones so that you could like actually see what it is you desire. Like there's a lot of things in the way, and they want you to just like focus on the true things that you desire, like the true thing, the things that actually mean something, right? Like putting yourself into balance, right? That's really important. Like love, that's really important, right? It's like, what is actually really important, right? What is it? It's like stripping of all the BS. That's what I want to say. So yeah, Leo, that's what I got for your meditative session. Let's pull some cards and see what we got. So yeah, Leo, what I feel like we're talking about is like, remember I said you're being stripped to this state where you can understand what it is that like you actually need, right? Like, do you see here, this person's also naked, and do you see like, this is what I think that you actually desire, right? This is what they want you to go back to, the bare, like the bare minimum, the bare bones of a situation, like the bare bones of what it is that you actually need, right? I feel like it's hard to understand what it is that we actually want, right? Because we have so many, like we're complex, I would like to say. Or maybe we're not, and that's why they want to strip us to the bare bones. But I feel like the 3D tries to say like we're very complicated, and there's like a lot of things that we desire, and there's like a lot of things that we need, and it's not all about love. Like I feel like that's what we're fed to believe, right? And I think like the truth of the matter is though that like at the end of the day, like this is all that we really need. I know that sounds like super corny, right? Like, yeah, we need money, we need to have our jobs, like we need, you know, like a home, right? We need, like, I'm not saying those things are important, but I'm saying like, I feel like the bare bones of like what they want you to understand is that that's kind of all you do need. Because it's like, I feel like it's not that you don't want a home. It's like the excess, right? It's something about the excess here. It's like, how much do you need of this, right? It's like, you know, when you go to a store and you get like one thing and it makes you happy. Well, then like the next time you go to the store, you want more, and then you want more, and then you want more. And I feel like it's kind of like a seed of like planted of how much do you actually need? Like, that's what this reading is, I feel like, more about. It's not like the fact that you don't need the bare minimum. It's like, how much do you need of something? Like, you have to understand like what's excessive and what's not. And I feel like, yeah, it's like what's actually, what isn't like enough for you to like survive? How much do you actually need versus like excessive, like, how, like, do you really need these things? And it could be in any aspect. Like, I'm just thinking materialistic, but like it could be in so many other areas where like it's gotten out of hand, like the desire for like excessive things, like things to be in excess, right? Like, one, it might just be enough, right, for you, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like maybe you've been taught like that you need more than one, right? Like, oh, I need like 5, right? But like in reality, all you need is 1 of something. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like the way that I see this. And I've never seen the 8 of Cups like this, but I feel like this is what I'm talking about. Like, do you see how this person's kind of like in excess, or they have a lot, and then this person is like stripped down to like the bare minimum, the bare essentials, like the bare, and like, do you see like the only thing that they really have like illuminated is like their mind, right? And I feel like with this knowledge of this being like, well, it's all I really need, like there's something that's like, that's all I need. Like, now I'm getting this like saying like that's all I need. And it's like, yeah, this is all that you need. Like, whatever this is, it's all that you need. And you just kind of like realize that. And you had to be stripped, right? You had to be like, because I feel like you for a really long time have been like in limbo. Like, you haven't been able to decide. Like, you haven't been able to reach like that understanding on your own. So that's why like spirit is coming in to like strip everything down. And I feel like maybe this has come with some sort of loss for you, because when I was seeing the desire card, I also saw like this person being naked as like they're naked because of like everything kind of got taken away in a sense, right? But I think they want to take things away so that you can understand what it is that you actually need. So if you're going through a time of like loss right now, or a time of like inconvenience, or things seem to be kind of slipping from your fingers, or like, I don't know, it's like if that's not for all of you, because I feel like a lot of you are understanding this without the need to like take everything away. But for some of you who things are like actually being taken away, and you're like going through some sort of loss, and you're like, well, why is this happening to me? It's like, I think the reason this is happening to you is because like you have been sitting in a seat for too long of like indecision, or like not really understanding what they're trying to like say to you. Because with this card, with the 7 of Swords, it's like spirit kind of giving you messages, right? And it's like them trying to help you out in any situation. Like, they're guiding you. Remember, like, the signs and synchronicities are invisible to the eye, right? But it's like, can you see them? Can you like live in the world of symbolism, right? Can you live in a world of like where things aren't seen, but like they're felt, or they're given to you like in a very like discreet way? Like, can you see them? And I feel like you weren't seeing them, and that's why like maybe for some of you things had to be taken away, right? But I think the reason that they have to be taken away is so you can start new, right? You can start again. And like, the reason that you have to start again, maybe, right? Like, bare minimum, bare bones, is because you've been thinking of why. I think this started all with your thought. This started all with like maybe you being unhappy with where you are, or you realizing like you're not supposed to be where you are. I think Taurus's reading was similar to this. It's like them waking up and realizing that they're not in the right place. That was like Taurus's reading. And this reading, I feel like it's like you've been thinking about, like, I feel like the ways that you've been unhappy, or the ways that things haven't worked out for you, or the ways like things could be different, or the way things could have been different if you would have just like made a different decision here, or if you would have made a different choice here, or if like you could have accepted this, or you could have, you know what I mean? And it's like you don't want to go back and be in regret. Like, we don't want to like sit in regret, right? But at the same time, I feel like this is kind of like not a regret thing, but like, where did I go wrong kind of thing? Like, why am I not exactly where I should be? Like, I think you've lined everything up in a certain way so you could like live out this life of like happiness, and then it's like it hasn't hit you inside. So you're like thinking like, well, what is it that I actually need inside? Like, what is it that's like missing? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I set myself up to be like in this path so that I could go like according to like, you know, like everything's set in a way that it's supposed to line up for me. Like, if I do this and I get this job and I move here, then like I'm supposed to feel like this, but like you're not feeling it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the answer. It's like you're not living in the life that you're like feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like you need to be rerouted, and you have to be stripped of, like, for some of you it's stripped of everything, but it's like more stripped of to like the basic, what is it that you need, right? And this is you, like, with the 2 3s. It's like you being with spirit and learning, like, what is it that I actually need? Like, what is it that's essential, right? I feel like that's the word, essential. It's like, what is essential to me? And this is what the answer is, right? The Ace of Cups. Like, maybe it's giving your cup away. Maybe it's filling your own cup. But there's something here about, like, your own cup, right? It's something about your own emotional availability. It's about your own perception of like what love is. It has everything to do with love. It can be in so many ways, right? Like, is your own cup full, right? Do you love yourself? Because that could be like the prime thing. Like, or is it, I haven't been able to give of my cup to someone else? Or is it like I'm not able to receive someone else's love? Why is that? Like, there's so many questions that you can go with this card of like the cup, right? Like the cup, energy, emotions, love. Like, behind every project there has to be love, right? Like, behind every project, like, you can have a lot of passion for something, you can have a lot of inspiration, but again, like, you need this love behind it, because that's the only way to kind of like finish something through, right? And it's like, it could go in so many ways. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to give you like examples, but it's like, for you, you'll all know like how this resonates with you differently, but it's like, this is like what it all comes down to, right? Like the bear, like there's something here about like being stripped of, like being naked, right? Now I'm thinking of like, you know, when like, I don't know why I'm getting into this, so I'm not gonna even talk about it, but yeah, I'm just thinking of like nudity, right? Like, I personally think it's like really beautiful, right? To like walk in your skin, right? Like, to be truly like authentic is to be like nude to me, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's like beautiful, right? Like, whatever, like, that's how I feel about nudity. And I feel like that has something to do with this, like being like the nudity, or like being naked. And it's like not supposed to be something like funny or weird. It's just supposed to be like being your true authentic self, like walking in you know, like you can't hide anything when you're naked, right? Like, you can't hide anything, like you're literally naked. And that's what I feel like this is doing to you. It's like you can't hide from yourself anymore. You can't hide from like what it is that you actually want anymore. Like, if you were playing those games, like, you can't anymore. Like, you've come to the realization, and now you can't go back. Like, you understand what this is, right? And it's like, there's something so beautiful about it. Like, I don't know, there's something so beautiful about it being like this stripped down, right, to this like feeling. I don't know. Like, I keep losing my train of thought in this reading too. Like, I keep losing the thought. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm a little scattered, I want to say, for this reading, and I don't know why. So maybe that's like your energy of being like a little scattered and not like truly grasping what this really is. But I feel like this is the answer, right? And I keep getting thrown off, and I don't like that. I don't know why that is. So yeah, Leo, let's look at some advice for you. Okay, first, Leo, I feel like I have to tell you that you're at the end, right? You're at the end about to step into a new beginning, right? And this new beginning involves this higher consciousness of like your own soul, your own desires, right? Like you've been stripped down so that you could start building something new, right? Something that resonates now with you and your heart and like your true self, right? And before you make it out of this, right, I feel like you're gonna be tested. And I know this sounds crazy, but like it's weird because in my own life I feel like I'm about to step into something really good, but I've been getting tested a little bit. And I was talking about that today with my sister, and then all of a sudden I got the Fox Spirit and Our Lady of Guadalupe, and I'm like, that's kind of weird because that's like exactly who I think. This is like I feel like my kind of energy. So I'm like, did I like pass my energy into this reading, or is this a message for you? But whatever it is, I'm just going to say that it's a message for you, right? Because I feel like you're going to walk into something really good right now. Like you are literally there because of this like consciousness, right? Like you're like realizing a lot of shit and you're like, oh shit, like this is what I want. This is like the new foundation that I want to be in, right? Like this is actually what I need. That's when I keep hearing that's what I need. And you're like understanding what it is that you need. And you know, like before you step into this new beginning, like you may be tested. That's all I'll say, like for some of you. And you have Fox Spirit, think on your feet, 2, 7, 9. So it's like 9, right? We're at the end. We're almost there, right? Because if it was a 10, I'd say like you're done, right? You made it to the end. But with this 9, I'm like, shit, like you have something left, right? There might be like some sort of test. And then you have Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I'm safe and divinely protected. I'm held in love at all times. So this is making me think to say to you that like, I mean, there's something here about your protection and like thinking on your feet. I think like there could be a little like trick, like a trickster energy, right? Like a tricky energy, meaning like again, like a test. Like it doesn't have to be tricky. It could literally be like blatantly obvious. But the way that things are like set up for you, it's meant to be tricky, right? Like I feel like it's not going to be something that to test you that's like not tricky. Like I feel like it's always going to be tricky because it's like, to me, it might not be tricky, right? I might see the answer clear as day. But for whoever this is, it's like, it's tricky to you. Do you know what I'm saying? For all of you, it's like different. For each and every one of you, it's like a little bit different. It's like, oh, well, like how, like you're all going to be tested in a different way because you're going to something really, really beautiful, right? You're on your way to this. And then I have like this little, like, and I'm getting a lot of red. So I just feel like you guys have to, maybe this has something to do with your like, what is red? All right, I'm spacing out right now. Again, there's something about like me trying to deliver the message to you and me being like scattered minded. Like I keep losing my train of thought. And I was like, I don't really like that. I don't understand that. I never like lose the train so quickly. Like I've been losing my train of thought a lot in this reading. So I think like the message is actually really important. And it's important to tell you that like, something will not be like kind of as it seems, right? Like on this quest to get to the end, right? Like there's something that you need to like kind of pass through. And for you, I feel like it's going to be hard. And I feel like for all of you, it's going to be different. And it's something that you've been working on, that you're working on something, right? So for you and me, it's both different, but we're working on something similar. Like we're working on something that we need to work on, something that's going to like help us evolve, like get to another level, right? That's what I want to use it. Like we're almost there, and then there's like this big like test, but it might not even seem like a test. It might seem kind of dumb. Like it's gonna be masked. That's what I'm gonna say. It's masked. Like you're not gonna know what it is. Even now, as I'm speaking to you, you might not have any clue as like what this is gonna be, but it's supposed to be to see if like you've made it to the next. Like if you can get to this, right? Or you're gonna like step right back onto this cycle of like BS that you just finished. You know what I'm saying? It's like, have you really learned the lesson? Like that's why it's like think on your feet and like you are protected. Like I think they want you to know, like they know that you're like, they know that you're ready. So it's like just be aware. Like think on your feet. Like don't, like just be aware. don't step back into this like karmic loop, right? Like get to the next level, like you're almost there, like you're literally right there, you're at the 9, right? And then we have the 1, right? And then we have the 3s right before the 1. So it's like you are protected, you are with spirit. Work with who, like ask them for help, right? That's what she was like saying to the guy, like in the story. She's like, if you need me, like I'm here. You just have to ask for me. So I feel like that's a key thing too. Like if right now, just be like like ask her for protection, right? Like ask her for her like help in this like energy, because you are really protected. I'm gonna put this with the 3s because like you are protected, right? Like the Trinity 3, divine. I don't know. 3 is like me being like spiritually. Someone's like watching over me. I want to say guardian angels, ancestors, whoever you believe in, right? And then we have Mary Magdalene, the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I'm fully human and fully divine. I think this is like what you're waking up to, right? This is like at the end. This is like, do you see how we have the egg here? The egg is like the symbol of the divine feminine, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm talking to a feminine. I could be talking to a masculine energy, right? But it's like we have that like masculine and feminine side. Maybe you're going to be tested on, maybe there's something, I don't know, like with the divine feminine egg coming out here, there's something with that, right? Maybe that's like what the test is going to be about, right? Because we have the Ace of Cups, right? And I feel like when I think of the divine masculine, I think kind of like of the Ace of Wands. And when I think of the divine feminine, I think more of like the Ace of Cups. And that's kind of wrong of me to do that. But I see like the feminine as more of the feminine is supposed to receive, right? And the masculine is supposed to give. And the feminine is like the cup, right? Like the nurture. Like think of it, I have a deck of the divine fairies and like the oracle of the fairies, and the fairies, the crotch, I don't know, it's like a cup. That's the divine feminine symbol. And then the spear, like this wand is the symbol of like the divine masculine, right? And that's kind of like how I'm seeing this. Like there's something like about the feminine energy here, right? And maybe that's like what you're learning in this cycle, or like what you're moving towards the divine feminine if you're masculine, or if you're divine feminine, like learning about that side of truly being like in the divine feminine. Like for all of you, it's gonna be different, but that's like the test, right? It's something here about there's something here about like the divine feminine. and yeah, I don't know. So this is just crazy, but I hope that you guys understand it, and I hope that you guys like just think on your feet, be aware of like what's going on. There's something like masked, and you might not see it now, but you're gonna see it. I would say to ask her for protection, and I think you'll see it right away. And yeah, like this is what you're moving towards, right? Yeah, guys, I hope this reading helped you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.